So we're getting somewhere with it. I've spent the last couple of days just learning about this bike basically and tearing it down. So in the last video I said it was a 1994 XR250 and turns out it's actually 1990, which was news to me. I think it was news to the guy that sold it to me as well. But yeah, so it's a 1990, I don't really care, it doesn't really make that much difference. It's still the same generation of bike. I think it's between 85 and 95 or something around there. They're all the same basically, more or less. 96 is where they really changed a lot. But yeah, so it's a 1990 and I've just been running around trying to figure out what the go is, given that it doesn't have a VIN number on it, because it's a apparently vehicles were brought into Australia in 89. Before August 89, they didn't require a VIN, which could have been the case with this vehicle because it's a 1990, and you know how car manufacturers and stuff always are, they sell the next year's model in the year prior. I'm assuming that's the way it was back in 89 as well. So it seems dodgy, but I think it's all legit, that it doesn't have a VIN. I don't think it was imported illegally or anything like that. But yeah, so it's a 1990 and I'm still working through as far as getting vehicle information on it. I'm in contact with Honda at the moment. Well, I sent them an email. Hopefully they send me one back with some vehicle information. That's one thing that Ford does really well. I just sent them an email asking for vehicle information. They sent me a whole page on that vehicle as far as where it was made with what options and all that sort of stuff, dates and things. So I'm hoping to get something similar with this bike as far as when it was manufactured and what year it was imported and all that sort of stuff. So there shouldn't be any issues with that. I've stripped all the plastics off. They're not too bad. I've cleaned them up with the pressure washer already. The tank's actually looking pretty good. I think it's sound. It just needs a bit of a sand to bring it back. And the rest of the plastics are sort of on their way as well. Got the airbox there. That looks in good nick. Got the side stand, having a shit of a time trying to get this rubber out of that side stand. Yep, to be continued. I've also been working up here. There's the carb, haven't touched that yet. In here I've got a bunch of goodies. All these are going to the electroplaters, so they'll get cleaned up, which is a good and easy way to do it instead of me scrubbing away at it. Indicators and things, I think they're all trash, to be honest. I'm not going to really bother trying to revive them because replacements are cheap. And then just all got the all the rubbers and things. And to keep track of it all, I've got the manual here. Not that I've read it, but every time I take bits off, I write out where I got it from. And so I've got a photo with this page filled with all those nuts and bolts across it, so when it comes time to put it back together, I know where it all goes. But yeah, it's been interesting with this bike. I'm just sort of learning more and more about it. One thing that's really cool, it's got a removable baffle. Not sure if you can see in there, but I've removed the baffle, and the baffle is here. Looking nice and crusty, so clean that one off later. Yeah, just learning about the bike. You know, it's telling a story as I pull it apart. It's got a couple of patches there, which I'm going to hit with the grinder to get rid of some of that booger. And then I'll clean up all right, no biggie. But one thing I'm a bit worried about now is the pitting on this rod for the rear shock. I don't really know what to do about that. There might be a new shock. I don't think people would bother trying to repair something like that. So that could be a pain in the ass. And then just looking at the corrosion on the engine, you can see how bad it is down the bottom here. I've started to have a play up further with just some Scotch-Brite pads. But I think the key with this will be sandblasting it. I've got a cheapo sandblaster I've got from the local hardware store. I'll give that a crack. I'm hoping it's not too abrasive. A lot of people use soda instead of a different media. Soda's supposed to be good on alloy, but I'm not too picky. I mean, it's a dirt bike. It's not a showpiece. I think the other medium that I've got to spray should be all right, but I'll give it a test on a few other spots before I do that. Looking super crusty up here. which I said in the previous video, but I've cleaned up a couple of sections of it and it looks all right. Like there you can see I've, focus, you can see I've taken the rust out of those few bits. And I imagine this is just from gravel. When it's kicked up, it's hit that, chipped it, and it's rusted. So I'm just gonna take that back with Scotch-Brite, sandpaper, whatever, and polish it up. It should look really good, and then I'll just clear it, and then probably, if I can, just rotate these around so they face inwards. But yeah, there shouldn't be a really big issue. What else have we got? Oh yeah, this Kickstart, which I thought was alright. It looks like shit because it's all rusted, but I was just gonna get it plated, which would remove all the rust thing. And then sort of protect it. But looking down here, it's it looks like it's been repaired. So, which should explain why it's so floppy. It's not sort of retracting with any sort of enthusiasm. So, I don't know. I'll probably have to replace that too. But this is an old bike. You can get repro stuff. Otherwise, there's tons of wreckers around. So, we'll see how we go. I've tried kicking it over a few times. I put a bit of fuel just an intake there and try to kick it over, but haven't had any luck so far. And the way it works with these bikes and the with the spark plug, it's really deep and really confined in there, so you can't get a traditional deep socket or spark plug socket in there to remove it. So I've got to get a special tool. So I haven't been able to check if I'm even getting spark yet. So anyway, the fun continues. But yeah, just as far as the finishing on it, these wheels look pretty knackered, but I'm contemplating getting these rims. I'm gonna relace these wheels so all these sprockets will, these spokes will get removed because they're all crusty. I might try and plate them, plate them, but I know that makes them a little more brittle. So I'll probably just chuck them in the box when everything else gets plated because it won't cost me anything extra to get them done and see how they turn out. But with these rims, I'm contemplating getting them anodized black. I thought that would look cool. Powder coating would be a waste of time because they'll chip up, but the anodizing should be pretty hard wearing. But yeah, we're getting there. Stay tuned.